Namaste, namaste, and welcome, welcome, welcome to Awakenings Moments to Inspire. My name is Angela, Angel with an A, and I am so happy to be here with you here today. I am in bliss today and just so much joy. And even though in Ontario, Canada, where I live, we're expecting somewhere between 50 to 70 centimeters of snow over the course of the weekend coming. So we might be digging ourselves out by Monday morning, but I'm trying to embrace the white stuff this year, right? It's not about seeing the snow. Most of us here in Canada think of it as the white burning stuff falling from the sky, but rather than seeing it like that, I'm trying to embrace the snow. I've never been much of a snow activity person, but this winter I'm going to definitely try and do that. So welcome to a wonderful, wonderful wintry day here in Ontario. I am so pleased to be here with you. We are broadcasting at onenesstalkradio.com, Oneness Talk Radio Facebook, and Oneness Talk Radio YouTube. And for those of you who are coming in late, welcome again. My name is Angela, or Angel with an A. So I am pleased that you are all here. We have a chat. We have sometimes a very robust chat, and I would encourage everybody to use it. It is in all of these platforms, and it all gets piped here to me, and I can respond to everybody in real time. If you have anything to share, please do so, and I can read it out loud for the community. That's what co-creation is all about. That's what I like to come here to do, is to co-create this hour with you so we can help you, inspire you for the rest of the day, the rest of the week, maybe even the rest of the month and beyond. So that is the goal, the aim of this show, is just to help to inspire you through stories of things I've picked up, through the yoga of self-ascension, stories of other guests that are coming in. They're here to help inspire you to take action, inspired action in your own life. And I find when you are in that uplifted, happy, inspired field of energy, that that action comes naturally without effort or need to concern yourself. Get in that mind space like I was about to do there. So, before we begin and go too deep into today, I would like to open the show with an Ave Saw breath. And for those of you who are not part of the Yoga Self Ascension community or the Oneness Talk Radio, many of us on Oneness Talk Radio are part of the Yoga Self Ascension. If you're not part of that community, I'm going to give you a quick little rundown. The Ave Saw breath has changed my life. But what it basically is it's an inhale your nose and exhale out your mouth. But while you're doing that, you're inhaling the golden light and you're bringing it through your body, and you're exhaling it, all of that negativity, all of the things that you're holding on to, all of the things that you feel that are holding you back, all of that goes out with the golden energy, right? It's pulling that out of you. So the Ave Saw breath is a very deep breath through your nose, but at the end, it's a saw, that release, that let go, that openness of yourself to the moment, to the energies, to center yourself into what you need to do next. But it's also, I like to think of it as my surrender. Surrender to the moment, surrender to the energies that are before you and that which you have to walk through. Right? Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. And it works either way to help uplift you. So we're going to do 3 deep Ave Saw breaths and envision all of that as we do it. And then afterwards, we'll continue on with the show. So here we go. On the inhale, think Ave. And on the exhale, Saw. Here we go. Ave. Saw. Ave. Saw. Ave. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Um, Please excuse my dog in the background. She is, we live in a tiny house, so it's very small and very hard to find room to do the broadcast with a great big Newfoundland that's not anywhere near you. It's almost impossible, actually. So I do apologize for her. Her name is Penelope, and she is an absolute dream. One of these days, I should show you all a picture of her. Oh, actually, an artist did a lovely picture of her there, behind me. I don't know if you can see it there. But that's our Penelope. So if you hear her squeaking in from time to time, I do hereby apologize for that. So it's going to be an absolutely robust day of energies, and I cannot wait to dive in to tell you about the energies today and the topic. It just all worked once again perfectly, beautifully in sync with the energies of today, before I even realized what the numerology and energies of today were actually going to be. And it was just total synchronicity. And I was just like, I'm on the right track, I guess. So, but before we do that, there's a few left brain things that I wanted to get through today. And Gary, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so wonderful to see you. Namaste to both you and Lynn. Love you both. And Gary is wonderful segue into what I wanted to talk about. One of the things I wanted to talk about. Gary is the master brainchild of this wonderful fundraising idea for Global Minga. And for those of you who do not know what Global Minga is, I would encourage you to please go and check out the website. At shriankira.com, and it outlines that there, and then it leads you to all of the information as well. So go to shriankira.com. But Gary was the brainchild of this, and he just wrote in one of our meetings one day, why don't we all come together? Likely many of us write poetry or short stories about our experiences, healing and on the self ascension journey and spiritual journey. Why don't we bring our art and our poetry and our writing all together, put it into a book of inspiration for others, and sell that as a fundraiser for the Global Minga Project? And I thought that was an absolute fabulous idea because one of my passions is writing. And so I I immediately got in touch with Gary and his beautiful wife Lynn, and we're starting to coordinate this together. And so anybody in the community, Oneness Talk Radio community, Yoga Self Ascension community, anybody listening out there who wants to participate in this project, it goes to a worthy cause of helping Indigenous around the world, bringing in the peace pyramids around the world too, to help us stabilize and anchor peace, love, and joy in the world. As much as we can. That's the main mission of Global Minga. And so, for those of you who are wanting to take part and would like to do so, I will put up my email really quickly here, and you can send me an email, and I can send you a little bit more information about it. There's really not much more than I'm going to tell you here now. My email is waterandlight@gmail.com. And if you're at all interested, just drop me an email. I'm going to be collecting poetry, prose, short stories. If anybody's developed art on their healing journey and their spiritual journey and want to include that with it, that would be great. And it's all donation based. So you donate your work to us, and then we put this in a book and put it out to the world to help inspire others. And I believe one of the I love the title that Gary picked was "A Touch of Souls." I thought that was wonderful. So that is one of the main projects that I'm championing right now. And I would really love to see as much of your artwork and your material and just who you are through words and expression, and you want to participate, please, please, please drop me a line because I can't wait to receive them all and just be part of your energy and co-create this project with you. So, and we'll keep you abreast of everything that's going on with it as well. And so you're going to be in on the know as well. The other thing I wanted to mention here too, before we get too deep, 11:11, folks. I just looked at my clock here in Ontario, Canada. It is 11:11. Before we get too deep, I also wanted to mention that we have a new moon ceremony. I have a new moon ceremony coming up on next Wednesday, the 23rd, and it will be at 7 o'clock. And if you're interested in that, please drop me a line, a waterloveandlight@gmail.com, and I can put you on the list for that. Basically, what my new moon circle entails is we come together. Um, kind of in an indigenous type circle where everyone is going to get a chance to speak. We open with a beautiful, beautiful indigenous story. Many of them are from my culture, which is Ojibwa, but I'm open to anybody who wants to expand that. I've been looking at so many glorious stories and from around the world. So they're beautiful stories that I can't wait to tell at all these new moon ceremonies. And then afterwards we take turns and we share with each other what it is that we are wanting to accomplish, or what it is that we have kind of helped manifest or bring together, or any stories that you have excitement and things that have happened to you over the course of the previous month, and then what you want to use the co-creative energy of the new moon and the circle to create in the next month. So that's what the New Moon Circle is all about. And it's just a community of like minded people, very inclusive, that come together, many from the Yoga of Self Ascension community, Oneness Talk Radio community. But it's open to anybody who wants to just come and be with creative, intuitive, like minded people in a safe space. So that's what my New Moon Circles are all about. So I can't wait to see you there. Now, time to get down to business, right? Here we go. Hold on one second. I really have to take a sip of coffee to get down to business. And this is my powerhouse coffee. I don't know if any of you, I just like to put a little bit of coconut oil in with my coffee, and with a little bit of soy milk, and then whip it. And it almost becomes like one of those lattes. And there's enough sweetness in the coconut oil, I find, that I don't need any sugars or anything of that extra. I don't know if you wanted to give it a try. There's my little recipe for you. And it certainly helps to minimize my hunger and really give you that kick in the day. Little more than maybe what regular coffee would. And it also makes you feel good because it's all frothy and latte like. It makes you feel special. Oh, so today I can't wait to share with you. The ascended numerology for today is a 12, and I follow ascended numerology, which is a little different than regular numerology. It has a 13 number system, which includes 0 and 12, up to 12. So it's a little different. And it is about soul charting as opposed to life charting. I guess that's a good way of putting it. So it helps to chart your soul's purpose, rather than just the simple life purpose that is what kind of normal, not normal, that's just a terrible word, um, popular numerology is. So I follow the ascended numerology. And again, if you want to learn more about that, there is shriankira.com. There's an awesome, awesome workshop there. I highly encourage you, if you are interested in numerology and ascended numerology, to take it. It's really, really informative. So I was feeling into today, and today is a 12. And the 12, there's so many ways of thinking of the 12. It's the divine union of you, your divine soul, and your vessel, completion, mind, body, soul. So think of it as the three parts of you in perfect balance. So the cross of perfect balance, which is the 4, times the three parts of you equals the 12. That's how I kind of think of it. Um, and you are in that completion stage. You have the ability to embrace that higher self fully and completely, knowing that your body and your mind are in conjunction and in alignment. That's a better word, alignment with who you are and your soul's purpose. and where you're moving in your inspired actions forward. So, that's kind of the way I like to think of it too, or, yeah, the Holy Trinity. I said the Holy Trinity. So your Holy Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Maiden, Mother, Queen, Crone. Um, there's so many Holy Trinities out there that you can embrace, but it still all is your Trinity of body, mind, soul, masculine, feminine, divine spark. All of these Trinities plus your cross of perfect balance. There we go. Plus your cross of perfect balance, it is what fires this off into the 12, to the completion, absolute completion. So I was feeling into the energies of today, and this is what I wrote. The one plus the two, so 12, coming together. So that's basically the one coming together with your body and mind, and allowing them to realize and release the fear, anxiety, and self doubt, to finally relax and allow the one to come together with them to create with the completion of the whole. It is the Trinity of you and the cross of perfect balance coming home to completion now, in this moment and beyond, should you so choose. Embrace your wholeness and let your soul lead. So that is what I had written this morning, feeling into the 12 of today. And what really kind of came to me when I was thinking of the 12 was literally the one over here, that higher self, plus the two things that you have to marry them with in the 3D dimension, which is your body and your mind, and the three coming together. So the one, the high one, plus those two coming together in this plane of existence in completion with the energies of the day. You have the ability to take that, embrace it, let go of your fear, let go of your doubt, and just run with it from here on out and never look back. Trust in that. And that's the key, right? Trust in that. Trust in you and the energies of the one and the two together, because that's exactly what you are. You're the one and the body and the mind together in this plane of existence. And as long as you don't let the other two take over the scene too much, and get you too immersed in the density of all to make you forget that you are the oneness. If you can hang on to that and ride the wave, you're okay, just fine. You're more than doing just. You are excelling. And that is the key, is trusting yourself. And that has been one of my major embraces of the most recent weeks too. It's just trusting yourself that you have the ability to walk through whatever it is that is put in front of you. Good or bad, positive, negative, it's really all neutral if you take that attitude of, I'm going to walk through, I have the ability to walk through whatever is in front of me, regardless. And when you take that kind of attitude, everything kind of plateaus to neutral. Plateaus to neutral. And then you're not having to deal so much with one side or the other, right? So that is the energies of today, which segues so beautiful, segues so beautifully into my topic for today, which is steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust. I am so happy that I can share this idea with you today. This is more than an idea. It's a lifestyle. It's an energy of who you can be and walk through your day with strength. So it is my privilege to be able to bring this to you. This is, again, something that I've learned through the yoga of self-ascension, and, I just wanted to share kind of what it means to me, today, and what it means for me to have steadfast. I guess I should have done my warm-up exercises this morning. What it means to have steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust. So, what does that basically mean for me? That means on a spiritual level, like there's so many levels you can see this through at. You can see this through at uh the day-to-day level or the 3D level. You can see it at your life purpose level. You can see it at your soul purpose level. You can also see it at your the source purpose level, right? Um, so what does steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust maybe mean in the dimensional world, in the get up and go to work, feed the kids, drop them off at baseball, pick them up from ballet? Um, I think in a way that says it right there. Your steadfast commitment is to your life and what you have built in this dimension, in this 3D body, in this suit and life experience. And I think that that says itself. Steadfast commitment to um, what you're doing in the third dimension and what you're doing in your life on a day-to-day basis. Focused awareness, again, I don't know how many mothers and fathers out there have focused awareness on what needs to be done throughout the day. You know, you are organized, you have it planned out day to day, minute to minute. And complete trust, well, maybe they're lacking some of that sometimes in 3D because, you sometimes feel like the traffic lights are against you, and but if you can hold that belief and through, like, if you're running late, for instance, and you hold that belief and, um thank you, Lynn, thank you. If you hold that belief in sincere, complete trust, then you can walk through it, right? Yes, I see we have some interesting people here on the chat, so, yeah, please be respectful. This is a safe, positive space. Um, but what I'm interested in talking about is more at um, your soul purpose level, your why you want to be here and what you want to do with your life on a general living your life the best way you know, being your life the best way you know and how, loving your life the best way you know how. That's where I'm talking about you to hold on to that steadfast commitment, focused awareness of where you're going and what you're doing, and complete trust that you're going to get there because that's half, no, that's more than half of the battle is the complete trust of everything's going to work out just fine, because that's one of my major stumbling blocks, and let me expand that a little bit. I I know where I'm heading on my general journey of the yoga of self-ascension, on my own journey of self-ascension. But there were parts of me that thought I had to be a certain thing or do things a certain way. And so I was trying to maybe too much fit myself into a package that um might, no, not might, that will eventually blossom to become. But right now it's not quite fitting. Like my shoes not quite fitting. That I haven't grown enough, that it's still a little too floppy and a little too big and a little too uncomfortable. And right now, I haven't grown enough so that my shoe will fit. I'm still too young in that respect, I guess, to keep with the shoe analogy. So I have to grow and expand and trust a little bit more that I will get to the destination, without having to force my way into something to make it happen. And that's basically what I was trying to do, was just to make things happen. And Um, it I realized it, and it was one of the most relieving things that I didn't have to like, I was literally falling back into that old trap of, "I have to do it this way," and then realizing, "Oh, I don't have to do it this way," that I can be fluid and trust that the end completion is there. That the things that I had in the beginning had my steadfast commitment for, my focused awareness when I made the manifestations. If I had just held on to the trust of that all will be well and everything will work out accordingly, as opposed to trying to put my oar in, so to speak, who knows where the manifestations would have taken me. I've had beautiful manifestations happen in my life over the course of the last 6 where are we? No, we're now 11 months into the year. This year has been amazing for me. And I try not to think of what would have been because that's not staying steadfast, focused awareness and complete trust. You're now focusing on the past. You're not focusing on the forward and trusting in yourself, right? Um, One of the stories that I wanted to tell today kind of illustrates steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust. And I didn't even realize I was going to tell this story until today. Um, I, for those of you who aren't aware, I am a member of the queer community and I have a transgender child. And so I was showing them, we were having a lesson in 90s LGBT movies and things, and I was showing them Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. And from there, it led into a conversation about a show called We're Here. And I had actually never really heard of it. And so I decided to do a little bit of snooping. And it is a live or version of Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. And I know it was just a show, and I know it's reality TV, um, but there was a sincerity about it that made me kind of keep watching, and I don't normally watch these kind of things either, which was a bit of a shock to me, um, but basically, it's 3 drag queens, literally, driving around, America, small town America, to very small communities, queer communities around America that have never really had a voice of their own, and helping them have a voice of their own through allies that want to come out and participate, through parents that want to come out and participate, and through queer community members that want to come out and participate and finally just embrace who they are. And so it was a all of the stories were very beautiful, and, if you ever get a chance and you wanna watch something like that, it is it'll bring a tear to your eye for sure, for sure. Um, and all of the 3 queens that go into these communities, um, they do so they go into these communities is what I wanted to talk about mainly, is their steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust in who they are and where they're going and those of the people in the community as well, that they're willing to trust in themselves and their own journeys enough to let happen what happens. And it, of course, is edited for TV, and of course, it's edited to have all of those emotional ups and downs, um, and that's what entertainment is, right? Movies, and so on and so forth. But like I said, it was, um, maybe the last episode that I watched that really kind of brought home the sincerity of it rather than the reality TV of it. Simply, the 3 queens were unable to film the last stop due to COVID. So what they did was they sat down and explained their journeys of how they found themselves, how they embraced themselves, and how they now live their life just being who they are. And that was when I really saw the sincerity, love, and presence of all of them. And it truly was fascinating because I was thinking back on how they were able to go into these communities, and many of them were hostile towards them. Um, and not wanting so basically what they did was they went into these communities, embraced the small little gay community that might be there, and kind of helped them put on a drag show with the help of, heteronormative allies and, parents and other people of the queer community, and so they would help them put on this drag show. And the amount of people that would come out and support them were amazing, regardless of the hostility that they had endured when they first got there. And, it was how they went into these communities with such love and such presence, and then after listening to their stories at the end, and then reflecting back on how they went into them and handled the situations as well, because they were never handled it with anything less than grace, civility, and love. And I thought that was fabulous because that was not what they were receiving. And for me, thinking back on it and then watching how they just held to their steadfast commitment to go in there, help these people, um, however they could, in however way they could. And they also had the full works with them. They had, and I'm sure that with therapists and all kinds of hair, makeup, the whole enchilada. They were all there with them. So they had the support of that coming into the town. But by the time those queens left, they knew they had support in the town itself. So when the rest of them left, they had friends that they now had contacts that they could get in touch with, but they all knew who could be their ally in their own community. And it helped to engender community spirit and community trust around a very marginalized community in most of these places. And I thought this these three people who also were from small town America and received the same or very much similar treatment to what many of these small queer communities were receiving in their at large in their community. Um, it was a way for them all to come together to find out that there's more who love them than there are that don't, and to embrace the love them and not worry about those that don't, because that's their problem, not yours, right? That's the people's who if they've got a judgment on you and they've got some kind of, um, belief of who you are as a person because of one small thing that they see, they don't know anything. And that's their problem because it's weighing on their mind. It's pulling them down. They're holding that hate in their heart, and not releasing that love, for other human beings sitting across or standing across for them. That's on them. That is who they are. And you don't have to take that hate with you. You don't have to take that judgment upon yourself. And it was helping to show these people through trusting who they were, being committed to who they were, to being aware of who they were, because you have to go into these situations and be aware, right? That's the key. The key of not feeding into the hate, not feeding into the vitriol and the pain and the fear and the doubt. It's about staying above it and being aware that no, I am a kind, beautiful, loving person, and their hate is on them, not me. And I'm not going to let it come on me in any way, shape, or form. And it helped show all of these people, um, both in the drag show and out of the drag show, that you can embrace that yourself, and that that's on them. And you now have allies in your community, people who you can be with on a day-to-day regular basis, who will embrace you and love you. And that was from 3 people who grew up in a less than conducive environment for themselves, but they became focused on who they were. They became committed to who they were. They understood who they were. They were aware to the core of who they were and what their purpose here is. And so then they just simply trusted themselves. Focused awareness, complete trust in themselves and their journey wherever it took them. They kept saying yes to opportunities as opposed to, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know." They jumped at opportunities where others might have been too scared or doubted themselves too much. They completely trusted who they were and their journey, and it led them to creating this show, which then led them to expanding hearts and minds all over America. And I found that truly inspiring. It wasn't about the show itself. Yes, that's entertainment. Yes, that's there for our tier value and our restoration of of faith in humanity. But it's so much more for those people that were involved because they have the ability to reach out to others of like-mindedness and to be a community, a larger community unto themselves. And then it's also, I think, the community's ability to see at large that there is more of us that support, because that's, I think, why many people stay quiet, is that I don't wanna make waves. I don't know who's around me who's going to support me, or who, if I speak up or speak out, will I mhm, will I be ostracized? Will I be let go? And that's one of our major fears as people in general, is not being part of a community, not being, because we all need human interaction, we all need human contact, right? It's one of our big fears, is being kicked out of our community. So I think many of us, when we're faced with those uncomfortable situations, um, is to just stay quiet because we're afraid for ourselves. And our fear and our doubt in ourselves have got us so closed off, our bubble so closed off. We can't um, we don't have enough empathy for other people. We're barely empathetic for ourselves. So we can't be empathetic for other people, so we just stay quiet. And that makes them feel, I've had conversations with many people about it. It makes them feel, like, sad that they love these people, they have queer people in their family or friends or whatever, but, on large, um, they can't talk about them, or so it makes them feel like they're even themselves. And I'm thinking, well, if you think you're hiding a part of yourself by not saying you support queer people, imagine what the queer people are saying and thinking and feeling. And then when you get into a larger group of people, you're like, and you see someone across the room that's there supporting this community, and you're like, I know that person. They're from my work, or they're from so and so. And you realize there's more of you than there are of them. And if you're able to embrace that love of yourself and go out and build that community of love, peace, love, and joy, you'll realize there are more of you than there are of them. Peace, love, and joy doesn't have to have anything to do with sexuality, gender. It's peace, love, and joy. Human human race, peace, love, and joy. And if we can see each other as that human being, peace, love, and joy across from us, then that's the start of it all, is just laying down and being able to see each other as humans, right? And as soon as you can do that, then you begin to open yourself up, that bubble around you that you barely have empathy for yourself, you begin to have empathy for others. And then the bubble just keeps growing and growing and growing. Gary, It's just another form of prejudice, hate over any difference is prejudice. Love everything, hate nothing. Much love, namaste. I agree, Gary. Thank you so much. Um, my cat's sitting here munching away beside me. Oh, I have a small little confession to make, and this is again prejudice that my husband said to me this the other day, and it is very much true. I have a prejudice for men in general, and I'm openly gonna say that out here. And it's not that I don't love men and any of that, it's that I had been so scarred and hurt by the male ego, and not men um and now that I'm voicing that, this is coming even into clearer realization. See, co-creative process. Um, it's the ego mind, or the male ego mind, egoic mind, that had harmed me, not necessarily the man itself. But I used to be, between 5 and 600 pounds. I, was very mistreated by, male populations in general, and targeted quite often. So I had a bit of a skin on me, and certain types of men, um, muscular, tattoos, bald, scary looking, kind of rough looking men, they scared me even the most. And it was just a prejudice that I had had in my own heart that I have to learn to let go. And it still creeps up from time to time. Still creeps up. Actually, sometimes it's a big blowhorn in my conversations with my husband. And something that I really, really have to work out on. But there I go, steadfast commitment, focused awareness. You have to be aware of it, right? You have to be aware of the problem. You have to be committed to fixing it, or it's not even a problem. Changing your habits, altering your habits, um, shifting your energies. You have to be committed to it. You have to be aware that you're doing it. And that's half the trick, right? Is just saying, oh, right, I just did that again, didn't I? Okay. And then the other half of the trick is trusting, letting it go, trusting the peace, love, and joy in yourself to release the judgment of it all, to release the doubt of it all, and just to trust that it's gone and that you don't need to see it again. Because then once you start thinking about it, that's when you're drawing that energy back to you, right? So if you're releasing something, just let it go. And then if you're thinking about it again and you become aware of it again, oh, I let that go. And trust, complete trust that you let that go. If you haven't let it go before and you become aware of it, hand to heart, ave saw breath, and just say thank you. I am aware that I have just done something that is less than who I am, and I am going to release that. And I trust in the universe that it will be transmuted. Um, for those of you who are aware of the yoga of self ascension, we do something called the container practice. And we can just do it here quickly now. Everyone just get grounded and centered, and I'll show you quickly what the container practice is in its essence. And let's take 3 deep ave sobs. Hmm. Then we're going to hold up our right hand, our divine feminine, because our divine feminine is the creation, the vessel that holds the energy of creation, right? So we're going to hold out our right hand, and we're going to call in the divine crystalline light and love of energy all around me in the universe and source, however you wish to word it. I command you to come here now with love, light, and peace. Feel that energy coming into your right, or sorry, left hand. Feel all of that crystalline light, crystal jewels of rainbow colors just all entering your right hand. Feel it filling up. Kind of tap your fingers together a little bit, your middle and your thumb. Feel the energy build. Hold it out. And then bring up your left hand. Or, sorry, you would think I'm hold up your right hand now, your divine masculine hand. This is the hand of the doing, right? Of the action, the energy of the doing and action. And feel that energy transfer from your left hand to your right hand, filling it up with that divine crystalline energy of the rainbow, of gold, of silver, of all of the colors. Feel it filling up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start above our crown chakra. We're going to go up to the next level, our lotus chakra, and we're going to put it up above there. And we're going to ask this divine energy to come down through your body, pull it down through, cleansing you of any energies that are less than you. Pull it across your chakras and then send it out to the container at Tosa Blue Mountain. If you want, you can build your own container. And then at the end of every week or the end of every day, I like to, with my container, set it out in the sunlight and allow the energies to be transmuted by the universe. But you can just send it off to the container at Tosa Blue Mountain. Even if you don't know where that is, the universe does. And from there, it is transmuted with light and love. And then the energy is used wherever else you need it. So that is the container practice. I suggest you do that as many times a day as you feel needed to help you clear your auric field and to bring light into your body and into your life, because it's such an amazing little practice. I do it quite frequently too, just whenever I'm having a bit of a rough day and if I'm out and about, and I can feel things starting to shift inside of me a bit. I like to do that just very quickly in private, or if the Ave Saw breath is not quite enough, that's what I like to do. So, hello, Gnarly. You've come to visit again, have you? We have our little stray. We've picked up Gnarly, who's on the mend. I'll just quickly show you. Hey, Gnarly. There he is. There he is. He's getting a little bit more weight on him and feeling a little bit better. We're slowly getting there, pip by pip. It's like, I always say it's like a little humane society around here sometimes. So back to Steadfast Complete Trust. Oh my goodness. So that was the story I wanted to tell you because it was one that was near and dear to my heart for many, many reasons. Um, Being a member of the queer community and having felt that pain from my own, um, some of my own family and friends. Um, it did hit home and it did make me, and coming from small town Canada this time, coming from very small town Canada, um, there still are some people that have a hard time with it. And then having a transgender child makes it even harder for them to become members of the community. So I just would love to, I, oh my goodness. Puppies. I have to stop. I have to stop and celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Puppies. Lynn has just announced that they had 5 puppies yesterday at their place. So they're celebrating and embracing life and all it has to offer. Good luck. We were expecting puppies this spring, or we thought we were. She even went into a false labor and we were expecting puppies and no puppies came. It was very sad. I've never seen anything like it. So don't necessarily believe if you think your dog is pregnant that there actually are puppies. Go to the vet and have it checked because there might not actually be puppies there. And that's what we ended up doing for a whole 6 weeks, was thinking there were puppies, and she was displaying every sign. That's steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust right there, because she thought she was pregnant by Jove, and I'm not kidding you, she had us all believing it too by the end of it all. So I just have to celebrate your puppies, Lynn. I love puppies. I wanted puppies so badly, but she's too old now. I don't wanna put her through that anymore. So congratulations, Lynn. What kind are they? If you can type that in, I'd love to know what kind they are. And you'll have to email me pictures. Oh, joy, joy, joy. So steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust, basically in a nutshell, means if you've got something in your heart and soul that you know that you want to be or embrace, go for it. Steadfastly commit yourself to it. Be aware in what you're doing, like when you're going out in public. How am I, who am I? What am I doing? You will be led when you are steadfastly committed, focused awareness, and complete trust in who you are, and that core of who you are, and your heart and soul of what you want to do in life. You're just going to flow through it if you allow it and trust it to happen. And that's what it's all about. Is, yes, pick the things that you are committed to. Um, if you're committed to self ascension, commit yourself to your spiritual journey and your self ascension. And when it gets hard, that's when you put your hand to your heart and give thanks that, okay, I know I and trust that I am going to be able to walk through anything that is put in front of me. I have the ability to do so. I have the skills, the experience, the needs, the everything to walk through this with ease and grace, regardless of the polarity, regardless of the shade. And that makes everything neutral. And that would be my closing for you, is if you can just hold true to what you want in your heart and who you want to be in your heart, um, and just fly with it and trust. I think trust is probably the biggest component, because you have to trust in yourself and the one in yourself, the higher self. And that's what today is all about, right? Embracing the 12, embracing the completion of you, that holy trinity of masculine energy, feminine energy, and the divine roaring spark that's inside of you that propels that heart. That trinity plus the cross of perfect balance times the cross of perfect balance is the 12, is the completion of who you are. And if you can hold true to that, and trust in that, do anything you want. I think that's the key we are going to leave you with today. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to mention, left brain stuff before we go. I don't think so. Just remind you again of the new moon circle that is coming up on the 23rd at 7. And we don't have anything else coming up in energies until the month of December. I don't have the November, whoops, I don't have the November calendar up yet. I need ink for my printer. My apologies. But the new moon is coming up next Wednesday. So I hope you will all join me at that. And I can't wait to see you there. And again, if you have any poetry or writing or art that you want to donate to the Global Minga Project fundraising book, A Touch of Souls, then please send me an email at waterloveandlight@gmail.com. And I cannot wait to see you again all next week. This has been such a joy. I, um, I just wanna share with you too briefly, I wasn't sure I was even going to be back on today. Um, that I was thinking I might have to put the show on hiatus until after January, due to some, density reasons, but I trusted and held true to my love of doing this show and being with you and co-creating this hour, that things would work out and that things would be okay, and they have. And here I am again, with you this week, and I will be again with you next week. And I cannot wait because it's going to be a fabulous, fabulous week. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet. I have no guests lined up. I have actually some fabulous guests I'm emailing with back and forth. So I can't wait. December looks like it's going to be a good co creative month. So I can't wait to see what we co create then. But until then, have an absolutely beautiful week. Go out there and be committed to who you are and be aware of where you're going in your life and just trust in the process of who you are because you're magic. And I can't wait to be with you next week. Much love. Namaste.